What if I told you? You're not lazy. I know, you've probably been told otherwise, by people around you, maybe even by your own inner voice. But what if that voice is wrong? What if the reason you feel stuck, drained, or unmotivated isn't because you're lazy at all, but because you're carrying a weight no one else can see? Let's imagine this. Someone hands you a backpack, then another, then another. Suddenly, you're lugging around 5 heavy bags, each one packed to the brim. One is full of expectations, another stuffed with responsibilities. The third, overthinking. Then there's pressure, and the heaviest of all, self-doubt. And here you are, trying to sprint through life, weighed down by all this emotional cargo, and wondering why you can't seem to move at full speed. Sound familiar? You're not lazy. You're overloaded. Let's flip the script. Would you call someone slow for walking carefully while carrying 10 grocery bags in each hand? Of course not. You'd probably be impressed they're still standing. So why don't we offer ourselves the same grace? See, the real challenge is that these emotional weights, these invisible burdens, they don't get acknowledged. No one pats you on the back for carrying the weight of old trauma, self-doubt, or unmet expectations. And yet, these things drain your energy in silence. But here's the good part. Today, we're going to start unpacking it, piece by piece, layer by layer. So take a breath, get comfortable. Because by the end of this journey, you might just see yourself a little differently, a little more clearly, and a whole lot lighter. Let's start with a story. Imagine you're on a beautiful hike. The sun is shining, the air is crisp. It's supposed to be peaceful. But instead of walking freely, your backpack is jammed with unnecessary weight. Dusty old books you never read, random bricks with no purpose, maybe even a microwave. Absurd, right? But now, every step feels harder than it should. That's your mind. You're hauling around expectations from your parents, your boss, social media. You're carrying comments someone made years ago that still echo in your head. You're dragging along anxiety about a future that hasn't happened, and guilt about a past you can't change. No wonder you feel tired. It's not laziness, it's emotional overload. And the solution? It's not to push harder. It's not to hustle more. It's to unpack, to let go of the metaphorical microwave you're dragging through the forest. Think about this. If you lighten the load, don't you think you'd finally have space to breathe, to move, to actually live? So why are you carrying so much? Maybe because somewhere along the way, you were taught that your worth is tied to your workload. That if you aren't busy, you aren't valuable. That stress equals success. Sound familiar? Ask yourself, when was the last time you said yes to something even though your gut screamed no? When did you last take on a burden that wasn't yours, just to keep someone else happy? You've been convinced that the more you carry, the stronger you are. That exhaustion is some badge of honor. But burnout doesn't care about your intentions. It comes for everyone who never learned to put things down. And dropping those weights? It feels wrong at first. Selfish, unfamiliar. You worry you'll disappoint someone, that you'll let people down. But here's the truth. Real strength is not in how much you carry. It's in knowing when to set something down. Let's talk about your energy like it's money. Imagine you wake up with $100 in your emotional bank account. But before you've even had coffee, you spend 80 of those dollars worrying about what others think, replaying mistakes, bracing for imagined disasters. And then you wonder why you feel broke by lunchtime. You're not unmotivated. You're bankrupt. It's time to audit your energy. Ask yourself, where is it going? Is this stress even mine? Do I really need to carry this fear, this expectation? this pressure, here's what you'll find underneath all that noise. Someone capable, someone focused, someone driven. It was never about fixing you. It was always about freeing you. Let's go deeper. Visualize your energy as your home. Every thought, every emotion, every expectation is like a piece of furniture or clutter. Would you let someone walk in and dump their dirty laundry on your couch? Their old boxes in your hallway? No? But mentally, emotionally, you've been doing that for years. Accepting junk that doesn't belong to you. Letting other people's opinions rearrange your living room. It's time to clean house. Start by naming one thing that isn't yours. One burden you've been carrying out of habit, not necessity. Maybe it's an old fear. Maybe it's guilt. Maybe it's an identity you outgrew. Now visualize it in your hand. A rock, a box, a suitcase. Whatever fits. Now set it down. Just one. Feel the space that opens up. That space? That's you reclaiming your peace. Now let's talk about something powerful. Boundaries. The truth is, people keep handing you things not because they're mean or manipulative, but because you keep catching them. You've made yourself the go-to person, the fixer, the rescuer. But you're allowed to say no, even if you never have before. It might feel awkward, but a few seconds of discomfort now are worth a lifetime of clarity later. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about protecting your sanity. They're not walls, they're doors, and you hold the key. Respect your energy, and others will learn to do the same. And if they don't, that tells you everything you need to know. You don't owe the world your exhaustion. You owe it your authenticity. Imagine this. You start saying no to the things that drain you. Suddenly, you have energy to be fully present when it matters most. Your relationships deepen. Your creativity returns. You enjoy things again, because you're not faking it anymore. And here's the final piece. Rest. Real rest. Not just sleep, but the kind of peace that comes from knowing you are enough, even when you're not doing anything for anyone else. Rest is permission. It's presence. It's the radical act of being okay with simply being. Imagine waking up not with dread, but with calm. Imagine falling asleep proud, not because of what you achieved, but because you listened to yourself, honored yourself. That kind of pride can't be bought. It can only be earned by choosing yourself. So let's be clear. You're not lazy. You never were. You've just been overwhelmed, overextended, and under-supported. But now you know better. Now you see clearly. And that awareness, that's your turning point. Starting today, you get to choose differently. Choose what's yours to carry. Choose when to rest. Choose how to spend your energy, and most importantly, choose you. Because you deserve a life that feels lighter, freer, more alive. So here's your invitation. Put something down. Just one thing. Today, say no. Set a boundary. Take a nap. Let go. Whatever that looks like for you, know this. It matters. You matter. And the moment you stop proving your worth, you finally start living it. Welcome back to yourself. You're not lazy. You're just ready to feel light again. Now go live like it.